Months into crisis, the Prime Minister arriving to make his first statement to the Commons on coronavirus, setting out the government's plan to begin easing the lockdown whilst also preventing the spread of the disease.
I will be candid with the House. This is a supremely difficult balance to strike. There could be no greater mistake than to jeopardise everything we've striven to achieve by proceeding too far and too fast.
Into lockdown as one united kingdom, but coming out not so simple, whatever he might wish.
Different parts of the UK may need to stay in full lockdown longer, but any divergence should only be short-term. Because as Prime Minister of the UK, I am in no doubt that we must defeat this threat and face the challenge of recovery together.
The Prime Minister wants unity, but he also needs to get the economy moving.
Anyone who cannot work from home should be actively encouraged to go to work in sectors that are allowed to be open. We want everyone travelling to work to be safe, so people should continue to avoid public transport wherever possible.
And new steps to stay safe.
We would now advise people to wear a cloth face covering in enclosed spaces where social distancing is not always possible.
And when it comes to socialising, changes too.
You can now walk, sit and rest in parks, you can play sports and exercise, and you can do all these things with members of your household, your own household, or with one other person from another household, provided you observe social distancing and remain 2 metres apart. And I do hope that's clear.
Not clear enough for the leader of the opposition.
What the country needs at this time is clarity and reassurance. And at the moment, both are in pretty short supply. There are lots of questions, but so far, precious few answers. People need reassurance above all else. They need it in the next 48 hours. So can the Prime Minister now please provide that clarity?
Everybody understands what we are trying to do together. And that is working together as a country to obey the social distancing rules and to apply their common sense.
And making sense of the new message, not that different from the old one.
Stay alert, control the virus and save lives. Staying alert for the vast majority of people still means staying at home as much as possible.
Extraordinary measures, and they may not all be temporary. You acknowledge today that we may never find a vaccine. Should we be preparing for our changes to our lives, not just in 2020, but permanently?
I hope that we will achieve a vaccine and develop a vaccine that can defeat the virus. And I'm hearing all sorts of positive noises. But you know, you're perfectly right, Beth, to point out that this is by no means guaranteed. Am I absolutely certain that we won't be living with this for a long time to come? I can't say that. It may be that we have to become ever more flexible, ever more agile, ever smarter in the way that we tackle not just this infection, but potentially future infections.
In Westminster, the PM keen to get things moving. Lockdown hurts the public purse and public health, but other national leaders see danger.
There will, of course, be risks whenever we start to ease the lockdown, but my judgment right now is that the risk is still too great.
As we lift this lockdown, different nations, different workers, different age groups face different risks. All together for the past few weeks, now time to take different paths. Beth Rigby, Sky News, Westminster.